Sabrina. How are you today?
I'm okay, a little stressed out. Got a lot on my plate right now.
Do you want to tell me why you're stressed?
S- School's really overwhelming. I work full time as well, and so it's just really a lot to take on to try to find time to write papers. And recently, my sister, who is a severe alcoholic for the last 15 years of her life, has come back. And although my mom and I said that we didn't want her there because it's just not healthy, whether true or not, the bed that she was supposed to have in rehab was given up. And so she's been with us for the last 2 weeks, and she's a big trigger for me. So it's been, I feel like I'm having a tug of war between, trying to support her, but at the same time, like trying to protect myself and what my needs are.
You mentioned that she's a big trigger for you. What are some of those triggers?
I think a big part of it stems from when I was younger, because this has been going on since I was 15 and she was 14. And I just have a lot of bad memories when it has to do with her and drinking. When I was young, I used to have to go down to the school, down the street from my house with a flashlight and my dog, trying to find my sister who was sneaking out. And I've tried so hard over these last 15 years to try to help her. And I realize, there's nothing I can do. Ultimately, this is up to her, but it's still really hard seeing her literally just dying in front of me. I mean, she's 100 pounds, and she just was emancipated, and her psyche is just so bad. And I feel that I'm a really empathetic person, and I have a hard time separating it. So for me, it's been a lot better because she hasn't been in my personal space. She's been far away, and now that she's back, it's front and center, and it's something I can't, turn off and just walk away. It's right there in front of me.
So what I'm hearing is that her being here has set those triggers off of bad memories in the past, and it's kind of stressing you out a little bit, especially with your work and everything that you've been going through with school and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's just been really difficult because alone, school and work is a lot. Being on time for work every morning and being there and then coming to school, and by the time I get home from school, I'm really exhausted and I don't have any energy to do schoolwork, and so then my schoolwork takes up my entire weekend, and I just don't feel like I can catch a break, and it's just been really stressful. And when I really think about it, I was out of work for about a year after some personal things happened in my life, and so I really had so much free time on my hands, and now I'm back to work, and then I'm full-time with school, so I really went from having this real simple life to just a real chaotic, overwhelming life. And not that I would change it because I'm passionate about going to school and my job, but sometimes it's almost like I just need a timeout.
What do you think that would look like, a timeout?
I just want to go away, get away for the weekend, somewhere just calm and peaceful. But at the same time, I know that although I may be calm and de-stressing there, eventually I have to come back to it. So for me, is going away and doing that. As great as it sounds like it would just stress me out more. And I feel like I've kind of just been absent-minded lately. I'm forgetting things. I left my charger at school. Then the next week I left my folders behind. And I think trying to keep up on everything, prioritize correctly, it's been a lot. And I'm missing little things here and there, which normally I don't miss things. And that's been kind of stressful for me because I pride myself on being on top of everything, and I feel like lately I haven't been.
So you mentioned that what it would look like to kind of de-stress, and you would want to go away, but you realize that you won't, like, it'll just stress you out even more because there's still so many things that you have to do back home. So then, what realistically do you think you can do right now without going away that would kind of alleviate some of this stress?
I don't really know. I've been trying to think of things that I enjoy doing that I could do, but I just have this internal battle of like not doing them because either they cost money or not doing them because the stress is still going to be there when I return. So I haven't really come up with anything. I enjoy working out, so I've been really trying to keep that in my routine. I try to get in some football on the weekends, which I wasn't doing at the beginning of school, so I'm trying to bring a little bit of that back. But I feel like lately I've tried to take more time for myself and have those little pockets, work a little, take a break, do something, whether it's just going and having dinner or going and seeing a movie. But I feel like since I've been trying to have more time for me, I'm slipping more. So, and sometimes it's hard for me when I do take those breaks and kind of shut my brain off, trying to come back to a paper, for example, and picking up where I left off. And, so it's kind of, I don't really have that good balance right now. It's either too much of one way or not too much of the other way. And so I'm just really trying to find a healthy balance between both.
Before your life became very chaotic, do you feel, or do you think that you would say that your life was pretty balanced? So what were some things that kept that balance in your life?
I think a lot of it really came down to the fact that I wasn't doing much. So that helped. I was working out, which is always something that I try to keep in my weekly activities. But as much as I was stressed about how much I have going on now, it was actually kind of the opposite. Like I felt like I didn't have a purpose. I felt like I was just kind of going through the motions, and I would go to bed really early and cut the day short at like 8 o'clock. And for me, it's like I'm the kind of person that wants to make the best of every moment, but because I had all this free time on my hands, I really wasn't doing much. And so the more I'm thinking about it and kind of processing through this, I feel a little less stressed, because when I'm really thinking about the big picture and comparing it to my life then, I'd much rather it be how it is now. But at the same time, it's still hard, and I kind of realized recently that I kind of sit and like when I have a down moment, I kind of think about my life, and even if things are going really well, I kind of stop and like almost in a sabotage way, like start to think of something negative, because for so long my life is negative, and realistically my life is not negative right now. My life is healthy, but it's just a lot. And I don't think that a lot is a bad thing, but it still makes me, think like, oh, you're not having issues with your boyfriend, that's not normal, you used to always have problems, or, you're sleeping too much, or you're not sleeping enough, or, oh, I'm having an argument with my siblings. So I've noticed that, again, as much as my life is busy, my life is healthy. And I'm just having a really hard time, like, not sabotaging it. Most recently, I'm in a newer relationship. I have been officially with this person for 3 months, but we've more or less been together for the last year. And, I kept telling so he really wanted to be with me in the beginning, and then I kind of sabotaged it. So then it was me trying to regain the trust and rebuild with him. And, You know, I spent a lot of emotional, sad nights, and then I always told myself if we were just official, I would feel a sense of ease. And I didn't realize till recently how much I have been affected by my past relationship and how it ended, and that was by being cheated on. And I didn't have trust issues in my relationship, my last relationship at all, obviously till the end. And now I feel like that's poured over into my relationship now, and that's something that's been really bugging me lately because I feel like I'm looking to catch him. I'm looking to see him doing something wrong. And so far, every time that I've tried to catch him or, you know, whatever it is, I'm always wrong. And I don't know what it's going to take and like how I can get to that point to not feel this way, to not feel, just to feel that ease and just to be at peace. And I sometimes just feel like I almost, like I said earlier, sabotage myself.
Why do you think is that you sabotage yourself?
You know, I think that a lot of my life, I've had a lot of turmoil and a lot of ups and downs. It's been different ways. It's not been like one same way. It's been all different reasons. And now that I'm in this relationship that's fairly healthy, it's weird to me because I'm so used to kind of having a chaotic relationship that's like really, really up and down and a lot of turmoil, and there's none. You know, we don't fight, we don't, and so I kind of feel like I'm almost waiting for the other shoe to drop. Like, this is too good to be true. Like this, and I realized this morning that talking to my sister that, you know, it's still very fresh in my brain being cheated on by my ex. It's still very fresh in my brain, the pain, like the deep, deep pain I experienced going through that breakup. And I am so scared to go back there and for that to happen again. So it's just been really hard trying to self-talk myself, like everything's fine, just, you know, let it be what it'll be, you know, and I even try to protect myself and tell myself, like, if this doesn't work, it's gonna be okay. Like, I'm prepping myself for something bad, and I just want to be happy and live in the moment.
It sounds like there's a lot of almost fear that the other shoe will drop, but you're coming to the realization that it hasn't so far, and we don't know that it will, you know. What I did want to ask you, as time is, we're about 5 minutes until our session is over. Some homework that I'd like you to do is, it sounds like there's a lot of internal thoughts that are kind of perpetuating your feelings of insecurity or bringing up this emotion that's inside of you. I wanted to ask you though first, what are some things, some goals that you want to hit as far as what you want to work on in the next few sessions that we're going to have?
I think a big one is being able to put at rest that I'm in another relationship. It's not the same as my last. Not everybody's like that. And just be able to be in the moment versus always future reading into something that hasn't happened. That's a big one. I really want to learn to kind of, you know, not overanalyze things. I think that I overanalyze a lot, and I just really want to be kind of like in a zen, or like a zen place, you know. I just want to be more tranquil. I want to be more, although I'm a lot calmer and I'm not as type A as I used to be, I just want to really work on being, you know, more at peace.
Would you be up for a homework assignment?
Sure.
Alrighty, so let's focus on one of your goals, and it's to learn how to not overanalyze things. A lot of times we have our thoughts that kind of perpetuate the way our behaviors are. So maybe this week, when you have these thoughts running through your head, kind of write them down, these negative thoughts that are kind of taking over, and then maybe doing truths in this situation. So you mentioned, like, I'm trying to catch my boyfriend, and I realize he's not as bad as it turns out to be. So always relaying those truths back and forth so that you're reminding yourself, this is the way it actually is, and this is what was in my thought, but this is the way it actually is. And just through the week, and we'll talk about those things next week.
Okay, that sounds